damn, is it a good time to be a Star Trek fan. This week, Captain Benjamin Sisko from Deep Space Nine has been announced. Well, I should say their pre-order has been released. But with the pre-order open and two versions that they're showing, oh geez, am I nervous about my wallet. So let's deep dive in it. This is another Thomas take. Let's get into it. I've been waiting for a 1/6 scale representation of this captain for many years. And Benjamin Sisko is one badass character played by one badass actor named Avery Brooks. Now, Benjamin Sisko is likely best known for his 7-year assignment aboard the starbase Deep Space Nine in the Bajor sector. And EXO-6 is giving us two representations of this character, depending on how many accessories you'd like. The EX version is displayed on the website as being only $180 plus $25 flat rate for international shipping per figure. Now that is the essential option. Again, the EX version. And honestly, for this base price, I'm actually pretty happy for what I'm seeing here. Like, the tailoring on the outfit looks really good. I don't love that they stitched the badge. I wish that the badge or the comlink was made of die cast or something a little bit more heavy duty, but it looks the part and it's like perfectly sewn. I don't have a problem with the visual of it. I think it's the actual tactile feel of it that I wish was a little different. This EX or essential version though does come with a buttoned up jacket, whereas it does look like the other figure, which we'll get into, has a couple more clothing options. I do like that this figure comes with the baseball. For anybody who watches Deep Space Nine, the baseball essentially represents the memory or the thought of Benjamin Sisko's son. And it actually plays a pretty big part in the series overall. So I don't want to give any spoilers away, but it's worth looking out for if you ever get a chance to watch Deep Space Nine. So the Type 2 hand phaser this guy comes with can be worn in a black holster that magnetically attaches to his pants. The TR-590 Tricorder X, the standard tricorder, can be opened or worn in the holster, and the personal access display device or the pad. He also comes with the transporter pad as a base, which I think is a really neat touch. Honestly, I like that. I'm kind of sick of the Hot Toys bases. I like that EXO-6 is giving us something a little bit different. And put together, you could kind of create a whole transporter pad for a whole crew if you wanted, which is really neat. And of course, it comes with pretty standard 6 hands, which isn't a ton. It'll do the trick. Looks like there's at least a phaser holding hand in there and a tricorder holding hand and the personal pad hand. So again, all good. I think that for this standard release, for the price, you get a lot here. I think there's a really good value for this. And so the EX version is definitely on my radar. But I want to take a look at the exact next picture, because the next picture is the SX version. So the SX version stands for standard version, which I find a little confusing, I'm not going to lie, because this is clearly a much more deluxe option than the EX version or the Essentials option. And I guess if your wife or your partner asks what version you bought, if they're not happy you bought another figure in your collection, you can say, "No, honey, I swear it's the standard version," and prove it. So that's a bonus. But whatever you want to call it, this to me is clearly the deluxe version of this character. He comes with quite a bit more stuff for a negligible price difference for the most part. So this guy clocks in for price at $215 US, as well as only the $25 flat rate for international shipping per figure. So that's only a $35 difference between the EX version and the SX version, which seems totally worth it. If I take a look at the difference, so the EX version and the SX version, he comes with everything that the EX version comes with standard. But in the standard version, which again, why is this so confusing? He comes with the additional captain's jacket, which is open for a more relaxed kind of Captain Sisko look. He comes with the captain's vest, which is a black and gray vest, and it can be worn opened or closed, either under the jacket or without the jacket. So that's kind of a nice feature. I like that there's some options there at least. And last but not least, the weapon that really catches my eye in the standard version is the phaser rifle. That's a Type 3 phaser, and it was normally used by Starfleet to defend themselves against the Dominion in Deep Space Nine. I also remember it from First Contact, which is one of my favorite Star Trek movies of all time. It may not be exactly the same phaser rifle, but again, it could do the trick, and it definitely brings me back to that movie and the show. So, very cool accessory. And I almost forgot to mention it, but even the whiskey glass he comes with, that's, heavily featured in the episode In the Pale Moonlight. And the cool Easter egg about that cup specifically is that Deckard drinks it from Blade Runner in the 1982 Blade Runner movie. It's the same original glass, and it's a random inclusion, but I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, EXO-6, for just throwing us cool Star Trek references from episodes we thought were badass. And I think for the $35 difference between versions, just having those clothing swap out options as well as that phaser rifle, that seems worth it to me. If down the line that $35 doesn't necessarily make or break the bank for you. So for me, I'm personally leaning towards the SX version of this figure. I think if you're going to commit, if you're going to pay this kind of money, you may feel like you missed the boat on some of those other accessories. Again, this is still a budget hobby to a point, and there are a lot of figures coming. That brings me honestly to my next point with this line is what other figures would we want to see with this guy? Because this figure is beautiful, but he shouldn't stand alone. He is part of quite a large group of really cool characters. For me, if I only paired one character with this guy from Deep Space Nine, it might be Worf, just because I could bleed Worf kind of between Deep Space Nine or my next generation setup once I have one going. But I would love to see a couple other figures. So we're already getting to see Quark, the Ferengi, which is awesome. So again, immediately we have a good inclusion there. I always thought the character of Odo was really cool. I really liked Dr. Bashir. I really like Garrick, the Cardassian, as well as Dukat. And honestly, I always loved Chief O'Brien. He just always stood out to me in the Next Generation, as well as I think he really started to shine in Deep Space Nine. Always thought he was a cool character, so he'd be cool to have in 1/6 scale if I was collecting a Deep Space Nine line, or even potentially a Next Generation line. You're getting the transporter pads. But either way, I guess I have one question for you guys. Do we feel like we're on the hook to pick up the other figures if more characters are announced from Deep Space Nine? I guess it depends. Is Deep Space Nine your favorite Star Trek? For me, it is the Next Generation. So I know if more Next Generation figures come out, I'll probably still lean to those. But I know there's a lot of Deep Space Nine fans out there who, when they see these releases, even if they're not a 1/6 scale figure collector, they may be tempted to still have this in their entertainment room or their entertainment space or in their office or wherever. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Are you picking this figure up? Again, which version are you picking up? What's your favorite Star Trek line? What are you hoping to see from Deep Space Nine if they do announce more characters from the show? If you liked this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it if you want, and I will catch you in the next Thomas Take. This has been the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for watching.